When you live alone and your belly gets an itchin', please step inside of my single kitchen. Hey you, I bet you're elbows deep in Lion King research, aren't ya? It's February, the month we celebrate love, and I bet you don't have anything planned. Plus you need to think of content for this week to please the algorithm. So just what do you intend to do about it, huh? Yes, I can just see the gears turning in that fuzzy-headed Wait, you have something? What's this? Cookbooks? An assortment of Disney cookbooks. Oh, I see. A romantic Lion King theme meal. Clever girl. You could title it, Can You Feel the Beef Tonight? Moving on. First up, we have Entertaining with Disney, published in 2019 and written by Amy Crushorn. It's less of a cookbook and more of a party planning guide with recipes thrown in. The party themes are all super creative, like a Queen of Hearts Valentine's Day, or a Lion King Welcome to the Pack themed baby shower, which is where we're pulling our recipe from. For these slimy yet satisfying dirt cups, you're going to need 1 package of chocolate sandwich cookies, 2 cups of milk, 1 small box of instant chocolate pudding mix, a container of frozen whipped topping, and of course, gummy worms. Now if you're thinking that the milk looked funky, that's because coffee was added to it. New Orleans coffee. Yum. Now enjoy some pudding ASMR. And then the whipped cream gets folded in, and it's really satisfying to watch. Crumb them cookies. To counter all of that sweetness, add a pinch of salt. Pulse to combine. Time for assembly. Layer of crumbs. Layer of cream. Another layer of crumbs. Another layer of cream. 1 more layer of crumbs. Now if that ain't the prettiest darn dirt cup I ever did see. Store 'em and chill 'em, and then top them with your worms just before serving. Now you may encounter a guest who is not a connoisseur of the complex flavor and texture of a gummy worm, in which case don't despair. Simply swap out your gummy worms with artfully placed fresh fruit. One could then say, I am serving to you a chocolate and chicory coffee mousse layered with black cocoa wafer crumbles. One could also find themselves with some leftover cookie crumbles, which means you now have ice cream topping. Our next course comes from Cooking with Magic, published in 2023 and written by Brooke Vitale and Lisa Kingsley. The recipes are organized by decades instead of courses, so we'll find this recipe for Lion King mashed potatoes right in the 1990s. First we'll need 1 large baking potato, fresh or frozen corn and peas, a pat of butter, salt and pepper, and snipped chives. Peel and dice the potato for boiling. Cover with cold water. Don't forget to salt your water, and bring to a boil. Cover and reduce heat to a simmer. Cook until potatoes are tender, roughly 20 minutes, and then add your peas and corn. Let them cook another 5 minutes. Then drain. Reserve about 1/4 cup of your cooking liquid. Dump the veg into a serving vessel. Add your butter and mash. Use the cooking water to reach your desired mashed potato consistency and season to taste with salt and pepper. Lastly, we have the simply titled Disney Recipes, published in 2003 and written by Ira L. Meyer. This is a pretty comprehensive cookbook. It features recipes inspired by films up until the year 2002. This book is special to me because it was gifted to me by my sister. I still keep the note she wrote tucked inside. For this seared fillet of beef, we'll need cumin, cinnamon, salt, cayenne, and sugar, some fillet of beef tenderloin, some spinach and olive oil, half of an onion, and 1 lemon. Now the amount of fillets used will be contingent on, yeah. Let's grind up our spice mix. lovely. Since the spices were ground whole, they are then passed through a small sieve to remove the larger pieces that didn't grind up, and one is left with a lovely steak rub. Now rub that steak. Heat the olive oil in a non-stick skillet, add the thinly sliced onion, and cook until the edges turn brown and begin to crisp. Then remove the onions to a paper towel lined plate and use the same pan to cook the spinach. Want to see a magic trick? Poof! Add salt, pepper, and get ready for the main event. Place a cast iron skillet with some olive oil over medium heat. Sear your steak on both sides for 4 to 5 minutes. 4 minutes for rare, 5 minutes for medium rare. Anything longer than that, why bother? Because of the oil and the spices, this recipe will give off a fair amount of smoke, so if you have a vent hood, now is the time to use it. Rest your steak on top of the spinach for 5 minutes, then garnish with the 1 ounce of roasted crushed peanuts you forgot to film, as well as a wedge of lemon. Garnish the potatoes with the snip chives, and then go film the reveal. Eat! Eat! Eat, of course. Nice reveal, but how does it taste? First up, the onions. They're onions. They don't add much texturally, but if you just love onion flavor, then go for it. Next, we have the spinach. Admittedly, I was worried about the spinach, but it was actually surprisingly flavorful, and the peanuts added a nice little textural contrast. And now for le boeuf. Yeah, all I'm really getting is the cayenne. Like, there's cumin and cinnamon there, and I can barely taste them. The cayenne fully takes over right about now. Finally, the potatoes. The potatoes were absolutely delicious. You could taste each vegetable, and as far as mashed potatoes go, they were pretty healthy. And finally, it's dessert. I was afraid it would be too sweet, but it's not, thankfully. It's pudding and cookies and gummy worms. All good things. Now, for those wanting me to recreate this moment, here you go. Satisfying? Sure, but there are probably more efficient means of eating a gummy worm since they are not especially slimy. If you've stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching me eat. Please remember to like and subscribe.